Welcome in, LSU fans, to another edition of the Bengal Tiger podcast. My name is Bryce Koon alongside Matthew Brune. We appreciate you if you're watching over on YouTube or you're hanging out with us in all those podcast feeds. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you head over to the Bengal Tiger right now. There's not a better time, Brune. Coaching search heating up. We'll tease it like that at least.
Yeah.
Into the season, dwindling down, portal, different
Need to
things
get over
happening.
to the board, see
Yes.
what's happening over there.
Shay had a big
Boy.
piece today, little
He
tidbits
did.
piece for you. But you can make sure you do that. You sign up $1 for your first week. On top of that, you get a free annual subscription to The Athletic as well. So make sure you take advantage of that. Bruni, we've got a game, a home game. Good God. Can you think about the gap of time we've had between a home football game and the amount of stuff that has happened in between that? Like, it shouldn't even be possible.
No, it shouldn't. I was just thinking about it because when was the Vanderbilt loss? Like, do you remember the date?
October 18th.
Okay, so yeah, it's been almost a full calendar month since the Vanderbilt loss, and the past month has just been utterly absurd. The Vanderbilt loss feels like months ago at this point. I have no recollection of anything that happened before that.
The Ole Miss game feels like it was a year ago.
The Ole Miss game, I mean, good Lord, just
Clemson?
what a collapse of a program. But yes, here we are. There is a game, I was told, 11:45,
What
Arkansas.
time were you getting there?
12.
12:03.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Look, LSU is gonna punt the first possession, so you don't even got to worry about that. You just show up the second possession, and maybe at that point they can get some yards.
Well, we're going to talk about this matchup, Bernie, and we have made the cognitive decision. We're in our right minds to actually talk for 10 minutes about this game
Yes.
and kind of what stands out about it. So let's dive in. Obviously, man, this is a game where when you talk about the stakes, what's at stake here, I think it is interesting because you do have two teams wildly underperformed this year. Obviously, Arkansas comes in having already fired their head coach. And then you have Bobby Petrino trying to find a way to maybe get the job if he could win in Death Valley. Maybe he is a candidate to get the Arkansas job. But I guess altogether, when you look at this game, I think it comes down to this. Can you stop Taylon Green? Like, Taylon Green has been one of the more explosive playmakers, not just in the SEC, but in college football.
Roll through the injury report real quick. The latest on Whit Weeks and anybody else, so that for people who haven't seen it yet. I know you wrote it last night. If you want to roll through it.
Oh, I thought you were like telling me like there's another one that just went up right now.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think that actually there is one tonight. I think at 7, but regardless.
And obviously Frank Wilson talking to the media here soon. Anyways, but yeah, no, inside that injury report, with obviously the latest updates from LSU's key contributors, Whit Weeks was listed as questionable. We'll see. Obviously, they've been kind of trying to get him, I guess, not even full speed, but really just
Practicing.
back into the flow of things. Like, yeah, just basic level practice. He was questionable as of Wednesday night. We'll see what the latest is on that. Aaron Anderson was listed as probable after Brune had an injury, kind of like nasty, a little bit of an elbow injury against Alabama last weekend.
Yeah.
I thought it looked much worse. He comes back out there.
But he comes back out there
and they throw the ball to him.
Yeah, they throw it to him, and immediately he's like, "Oh, damn, that hurt." I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, just sit down. Like, I understand he wants to play, and I know everybody wants to play, but I was like, dude, that did not look good.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. If Aaron Anderson plays, we'll see. But Whit Weeks is obviously the big one, and I prefaced it with the injury report because they obviously have to stop Taylon Green. Like, that's just the number one priority, and they haven't been able to do it against mobile quarterbacks. I wrote today the 5 players that I wanted to watch, and we'll get into players to watch later. But like Harold Perkins is obviously like the one when you're talking about without Whit Weeks potentially again. He's the only one that has that speed that can contain him, and that was what frustrated fans and what frustrated us in the A&M game was like Marcel Reed ran around him. And I know Marcel Reed is not faster, if faster at all. Like, he's not that much faster than Harold Perkins. And so it's about his eyes. It's about how he's being used. It's about the pass rush. Like, in theory, your pass rush should be able to funnel a quarterback to a specific spot. Like, for example, yeah, for example, the last play of the Clemson game, right, where they twist one way and they have Harold Perkins cleaning up the backside. So when Klubnik rolled out right, Perkins was right there, like that type of stuff. Or you have them stepping up in the pockets where Perkins can see him. Like Marcel Reed just ran around and there was no pass rush integrity, and it just created all these gaps, and it was really, really bad. So as much as I do blame Perkins for that performance against A&M, like the front seven as a whole was just really, really bad. And that's something that they have to be a lot better at this week.
One last note on that injury report. Obviously, Nick Anderson out, avoided what we thought would be a serious injury, but we'll see, obviously, his status throughout the next 2 games.
I still would be surprised if he played these games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think he's playing.
Maybe a bowl game.
Maybe. Going back to your defensive point, LSU's coming off of a performance where Brune, you said this, like they arguably played their best the front seven played their best game of the year outside of the Clemson game. Is that a byproduct of not facing a quarterback who can really just hurt you? Because, I mean, look, I read a piece on Blake Baker yesterday why I think he should be retained. And you saw, obviously, a lot of the comments where he can't stop a running quarterback. I would push back against that and say it's one of the more difficult things to do in the college football. A quarterback that can do things really well on both sides of things. How much does last week's performance help them this week?
I think it helps them. I think it gives them some confidence. The biggest thing was them stopping the run, the traditional running game, right? The Jam Miller and Alabama's just lining up and handing the ball off. I mean, holding them 2.6 yards per carry is really, really impressive. And if they can do that against Arkansas and make them one-dimensional, then you still have to deal with Taylor Green's legs, but it at least gives you something to where you can fall back on, all right, we've stopped the run, we've put them behind the chains, we've put them in obvious passing situations, which they did against Alabama. I thought they did a great job of, we always talk about it, like winning first and second downs. That's what LSU's offense doesn't do. That's what other teams usually do to LSU. They usually are able to get some yards on the ground, like Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and so on. That was the big change against Alabama, was LSU's defense, and the front seven did a really good job helping, collapse against the run. When they did go man on the perimeter, I thought they held up pretty well. We saw them get toasted a couple times deep. Simpson hit one, missed another or two, but overall, like, I think it's a confidence builder, and I don't know how much it translates to specifically Taylor Green. Because if Taylor Green is locked in and playing at a high level and like that offense is humming, like I'm not sure how many defenses really in the country can slow them. I mean, we saw them put up 42 against A&M. Like it's going to be hard no matter what.
It's going to be hard. A couple things to kind of keep note of in this game. Arkansas is one of the worst in sack EPA, which is essentially your expected points added on where players when the quarterback is sacked. They're 130th in the country. 103rd in the country. They're 130th in a couple other categories. But just in terms of, not being great at that, it's like, okay, if there's going to be a game where you see this front seven finally get home, yes, Taylor Green can make you pay. Yes, he can do some things, but Arkansas has been giving up sacks a lot, and it's really hurt them in terms of the pressure rate and one-on-one battles, actually, too. Their offensive line has not been good at it. I think that would be something that would bode well for a front seven that I would probably say has been less than desirable in terms of how many one-on-ones they've won, especially on the outside. We've talked a lot about that here recently, just like Jack Pyburn, Patrick Payton, Jamari Butler. Like they've won occasionally, but just not enough, and they haven't gotten home.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they can make this look like the South Carolina game where Sellers was running for his life, and obviously he broke some tackles and broke some runs and stuff. But with the offensive line struggles, like we've seen Blake Baker's blitzes get home, and then we've seen him be able to confuse opposing offensive lines. And that's what I'm curious about from LSU's defense is if they can get home with 4 and show them different looks and twists and stuff like that and bother Taylor Green the way that they bothered Lenore Sellers and the way they bothered DJ Lagway, then obviously it's a recipe for success. I think this offense is just a lot more polished, I guess you'd say, than those offenses, like in terms of Petrino and what they run and Green's efficiency. Green's a veteran. I mean, what is this, his 5th year? I know he started at Boise for
2 or 3 years at Boise. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
this is
so
year
then
two.
here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough, but I do look at that as a path for LSU's defense to have another strong game.
You want to know another path here for you? Get a little crazy on a
No,
Thursday evening?
go ahead.
LSU's punting game's been pretty good. Arkansas has one of the worst average starting field positions as an offense in the country.
It's a great
So there
stat.
you go.
It's a great stat.
So I will say, if you're this defense, it really does make you feel like the Florida game and then the South Carolina game, where you just, I mean, at the time, Brian Kelly and that staff had pretty much said, we're just gonna make you go the full length of the field. Like, we don't care if we win this game 24-7. We'll just make you go the full length of the field. If they give up only 7 points to Arkansas, that's a heck of a win because this offense is really, really good. I guess before we kind of get to players to watch, what do you expect to happen? Like, do you expect this to look any different, or is this just going to be a hodgepodge of just midness out there and whoever? I mean, like, what do you expect to see in terms of that?
Yeah, I don't expect it to be the highest level of football in the SEC on Saturday. If we just look at the offense real quick before we move on, I still don't expect there to be like fireworks. However, while we've seen their struggles throughout the year, LSU's, like, we also saw them move the ball at times against bad defenses, right? Like they had been able to get to 24, right? That was always the ceiling. It's like 24, 24. And then Vanderbilt, they had some success as well. So I do think against a bad Arkansas defense, like capital B, bad Arkansas defense, I think they can hit some explosives, and not saying that they're going to all be vertical, but like Barron Brown, Xavier Thomas type explosives. If they hand the ball to Harlem Berry at all, which we'll talk about in players to watch, that will be my player to watch. If they give him the ball, like, 6 yards of carry there, cool. But like, I think they should be able to block them on the interior. And then it's just up to the tackles. If the tackles can hold their own, whether that's Ori Williams, Weston Davis, I hope it's Ori Williams, then I think we look at Nussmeier and be like, okay, he can find a rhythm. He can have some confidence, just let it rip at some point. And yeah, hopefully this can look a lot like those other games where the offense wasn't bad against like Vanderbilt. It wasn't bad against like, I mean, even last week they moved the ball a little bit. They just got in the red zone 4 times and kicked 3 field goals. I mean, at some point you got to finish drives.
Yeah, I think that's obviously the biggest thing. That do I expect them to finish drives against Arkansas's defense? I don't, and I don't think Arkansas's defense is good at all. And I do not expect them to do it. Brune, it's more of a reflection of how bad I think this offense is at executing.
Yeah.
And look, I don't want to discriminate here. Again, no ageism on this show.
Of course not.
But it's like, when you're playing EA and you get inside the 15 and you just, for lack of better words, you don't know what to do. You just freak out. And that's what I feel like this offense does. They did it under Joe Sloan, and they've continued to do it now under Alex Atkins. Now, Alabama's a different beast in terms of defensively what you have out there. But I'm curious, like, does that change? Does Alex Atkins, with one game under his belt, being the guy calling plays, did they work on some stuff in practice where it's like, okay, we'll do that? Or, Brune, or do you just line Trades up out there and throw it to him 4 times? Like, okay, listen, before we move on, I love the formation when they split 3 out of the right side, Trades by himself. I love it. It gives you the option for a little quick RPO screen or the fade of Trades. You and I believe this was the A&M game. So Trades catches that first one for a touchdown. Obviously, rips it away. Great play by him.
Incredible.
You've got to give them a different look at some point. The different look is to not run the quarterback draw with Garrett Nussmeier. But if Michael Van Buren's in the game, I'm kind of okay with that. So I guess before we go any further, do you expect this offense to do anything different in the red zone? Or is it just going to be the same inside zone, let's bounce it outside or something like that?
I mean, I think the only thing you could do differently is Van Buren, right? Like, Trades Green not getting targeted in some of those red zones was, again, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't compute. I know even on the one that touchdown he had against A&M started like rolled over a guy late.
The safety was rolling over,
like to get there, and he got there late and it didn't matter. But like, I want to make 2 guys guard him. Then you're essentially playing 11 on 10, like at that point. And so I just feel like you have to make the defense account for it, and then you can run off it. Like you said, you could throw that quick pass. there's just things you can do where you're up a number, and we always hear about like numbers in the box and stuff like that. Like it is so valuable in the red zone if you could do that. I would be looking for that as my first option.
We're not going to dive too far into the film here, but like just say they're playing man against you in that, which I obviously feel like they would need to. You're going to have to double Trades. You're going to have 3 out wide. So essentially, you're going to have 1+ numbers. You should theoretically be able to run the ball in that. Like theoretically, you should be able to run the ball in that, especially with a tight end. So, yeah, I mean, not too much more on this game. I think that it's an opportunity, and we'll get into it later. And with one specific battle, we've already mentioned Van Buren, but this is an audition now. It's an audition for if you were, and I said this so many times on Monday night. It's an audition for you to be here. It's an audition for you to be elsewhere. Here's your opportunity to go put some film on tape, and we'll see what happens there. So it's a good thing. If you want to, by the way, Brune, if you want to, check out our friends over at Game Time. Code On3. You can get $20 or $20 off your order today. By the way, here's what's crazy. Now I need to understand this. I'm sorry, Game Time, that I'm about to do this to you. You can get into Tiger Stadium for $4 this weekend.
Do you have the site up? Let me get the site up.
But okay, by that logic, Game Time might pay you to go to the game. Which they're not going to like that I just said that. But let's take a look right here. Bruny's got it right here. The
let me go to the
ticket
map. Yeah, the cheapest ticket is $4.
The cheapest ticket is $4. So, you know what? I might do this just to see. Like, I might just buy 2 tickets in section 643. If Brune and I are not having a fun time, we're just going to walk over there and sit.
We're going to walk over there. Just go talk to some LSU fans.
Yeah.
Over here.
I mean, seriously, you can go to the game for free if you use code On3. I mean, that's an elite deal. Like, if you have nothing else to do this weekend.
Look, I mean, you can get lower bowl. You can get front row right behind the visitor seats for $50.
Those seats suck, by the way. But yes.
Well, if it's too low, then yes, I don't like them that low. But like up in the middle right here, that's why the middle I think is a little bit more expensive right here. But like 64, perfect to me. Or one of these seats in the corner. I feel like corner seats are very underrated.
Scroll up a little bit. Or go up the section.
Right here.
Go up a section in the corner. So those tickets are like $27 to your left.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dad just used code On3 and bought 5 tickets. We're going to take the daughter next week to the Western Kentucky game. I'll have my media pass and everything. But use code On3, got a great deal. And the view from those seats is perfect.
Yes. And yes. Corner seats are highly underrated. You can sit behind the bench. You can call plays for $80 right here.
Call plays. And if you use code
72,
On3,
65.
$65, and you can talk to Frank Wilson.
$65.
You can touch the golden boot for $65. There you go. This is a trophy game, but no, shout out On3, yes, great sponsor all season long. And Brune, you got to tell them too. Maybe you need to delve into those basketball tickets a little bit too. Look and see what's happening. We are just
trying to figure out. There you go, got it.
On3 is great, and so is Game Time. We love them. Big things happening over here on the On3 network, by the way. So, players to watch. Just go ahead. Just go. I know you're saying.
All right.
Don't waste our time.
For those who haven't already, go check out my story on the Bengal Tiger. I listed off 5 of them, and I ranked them. I'll just give you number 1 because I tweeted it as well. Harlem Berry is by far the player that I am most looking forward to seeing on Saturday. And I wrote this in the story. I tweeted this, so I'm giving you stuff that I gave away. Over the past 3 games, Berry has 32 carries for 180 yards. That's 5.63 yards per carry. The average yards per pass attempt in the past 3 games is 6.22 yards per pass attempt, which is terrible. That's terrible, okay? But that's when they get the pass off, okay? That's just when they get the pass off. Now, let's think about all the times they've gotten sacked, scrambled. You know, Van Buren had some runs forward. Like, he didn't go backwards, he went forward. So we'll count those 2. So just drop backs in general. So pass attempts, sacks, runs. LSU, over the last 3 games, is averaging 4.62 yards per drop back.
So when they drop back and they pass it, the per attempt is 4.62 yards.
It is a full yard less than when you hand the ball to Harlem Berry.
There's no reason to pass the ball anymore.
There is no reason to throw the football. And it's, again, all we've ever heard was like, well, the game script, it got out of hand and we were just getting beat, so we had to throw the ball. Well, you're losing a full yard every play you throw the ball. You're losing a yard. Just turn around and hand the ball to Harlem Berry, and there's a better chance that he breaks a big run than Garrett Nussmeier does a 360 and throws the ball to Berry and Brown.
I'm laughing so I don't cry because that is a ridiculous oh my gosh.
What?
That is horrible.
Yeah,
That's
so
horrible.
Just speaks to just how bad the passing game has been, but also give the ball.
That is a good number though by Berry.
Really good.
That's impressive.
Really good considering where we were week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, where LSU was we can't run the ball. Past 3 games. Berry 5.63. This is consistent now. This is 3 straight games where you give him the ball, he goes forward. Credit to the run blocking, sure. But Harlem Berry, again, it was always going to be a win, not an if thing with him. It's when he got his feet under him. It's when he started seeing the game a little bit slower because the talent is there. So that's my player to watch. That is my pitch for Harlem Berry to get the ball more.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I read the story, but I think the way that you explained it, it just made me lose it. I didn't really know how to take that in person. So, no, it's honest to God, and Harlem Berry's worth the price of admission. He is, and Brune, they're one of the worst teams in missed tackle rate as an offense. Harlem Berry has elevated that number. I looked earlier, a full 2.4 points in the past 3 games. So they were 130th in the country in missed tackle rate. They're 106th, 107th now. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But no, my player to watch in this one, he's pushing, baby, for one of the top defensive players in the country. I'm going Mansour Delane still. I just like watching him play. I don't think that they're going to be able to go after him a lot, but I think that if there's something you want to enjoy watching, obviously offensively it's Harlem Berry, but if defensively it's Mansour Delane. This guy has been as advertised. He has been completely worth the money that they paid to go get him. I tweeted earlier in the year, so this is why you go pay a guy like Mansour Delane, because he is an elite level corner, and it's been a while since LSU's had that. Good Lord, Brune, am I going to get myself in trouble here with LSU recent history if I say Derek Stingley was the last one that you're they're not throwing at him?
Whew. Yeah.
I mean, they've had some quality players, but a guy that you're just not even looking at.
Yeah. No, he's the one.
He's the last
he's
one.
the one. I mean, I could go through the other corners but Jay Ward played nickel a lot. Jarek Bernard-Thomas was good, not great.
But he wasn't feared. They're not throwing at
exactly.
At him. So I think just in terms of that, if you're watching the game on TV this week and you're watching it, you're hey, you know what? I don't want to cry, so I'm just going to watch something that is going to be phenomenal. Watch Harlem Berry or just watch Delane. If you're a young corner, the one thing I keep seeing people do film breakdowns, and a lot of NFL experts are really starting to dive into this, is his patience in man coverage. It is very, very good. So I'm excited. Maybe they'll run more man coverage this weekend. They didn't run a ton.
Yeah, it was interesting watching them run as much zone as they did, and then in the first half, especially where Ryan Williams kind of got open over the middle, and I'm I feel like Delane could just clamp him up, just throw Delane on him. Last thing, Pickett's one that I want to see. Obviously, just they continue to split reps with Woodland. Looking to the future, want to continue to see Spears out there. So, the defensive backs as a whole, you want to continue to see them. I don't think anybody else is really on the top of my list in terms of guys that we haven't seen enough. I think we've seen most of these guys and we know what they are. So that's kind of my list.
I like it.
All right. Let's jump to who we got next, the ad read.
We're going to talk about our friends over at BetMGM. Brune's going to have some lines coming out tomorrow. Make sure that you take advantage of what our friends over at BetMGM have going on. They do a fantastic job, and it's one of those things where we want to make sure that you are taking advantage of that odds boost token. You could score a bigger payout. All you got to do is head over to the app, download it, and hit that little apply boost. Toggle that on. Make sure that you take advantage. You want to place a wager on the LSU game this weekend, want to get it across college football, maybe even the NFL. make sure, heck, the NBA is going on, but we want you to do it with college football. Odds Boost token, you can make sure you take advantage of it. They do fantastic work. Has been a great sponsor for us all season long. We appreciate
Love
it.
odds boosts. Jump over there. Just it's the easy. It's honestly, I don't gamble a ton, but early in the football season, the only things I would do would just be odds boost, and so it'd be like there's like $10 max, whatever it is, but like I'm hitting these $10 plays, like 3 of them a weekend. There you go. Be like get it from -110 to +120 or something like that. Boom, just keep racking it up because of obviously. It's efficient.
It is.
Beating the market.
Well, and tell the people why you're not gambling as much anymore because you did lose all the money.
Hey, if I only bet LSU, also I don't start with the big enough money. I'm like just very stingy when it comes to gambling. But my final lines, we won again last week. I think we're 8-1 on the season right now. And guess I only posted it to the board. I didn't make it a story. My pick of the week last week. Garrett Nussmeier, under 5.5 rushing yards. Never a doubt.
Well, that one sack probably
just wiped it all off.
Last weekend, shout out our friends over at BetMGM. I hit this nice 5-leg parlay. All money lines. They were all favorites, but you know what? Sometimes you got to play smart, right? Southern Miss, James Madison, Georgia, A&M, UNLV, plus 398.
Ooh. Your daughter got to eat some food.
She got the brand name yogurt this week, buddy. She was living the high life. So before we get into this last part, speaking of living the high life, Brune, if you want to be comfortable, you got to check out our friends over at Brunt Workwear. It's an elite product. It's the best go-to product if you're out there. Look, whether you're getting your hands dirty out there on the job site or whatever you have going on, maybe it's around the house, or you need a gift this time of the year for someone. It's not just these fantastic shoes you see on your screen right now. It's a lot of great products across all different types of apparel that you can make sure you get for the holiday season. Brunt Workwear is the place to go. Make sure you utilize them and what they have going on throughout the holiday season. We love it. Shay loves it. He's got some great boots that he throws on, and it's comfortable. You don't have to worry about breaking these in. I think that's the biggest thing about it. You know, we've all got those shoes or those boots that we needed to wear a couple times. You get the blisters. You got to wear the thick socks. But if you use code Bengal Tiger, you can head over there right now and make sure you get things that are absolutely ready to go as soon as you get them out of the box. Brunt Workwear, fantastic brand, fantastic people. We only partner with high-quality people over here, and it's a high-quality brand. Brunt Workwear, make sure you check them out.
We should just call Shay and just let him talk about Brunt Workwear for like 20 minutes.
Well, that would go 4.5 minutes. So
now, speaking of Shay, as we're recording this, the press conference was supposed to start at 5, and it has just started, and it's 5:38 as we record this. Frank has showed up 35 minutes later to the press conference. Oh, I love Thursday pressers.
We just got a text from a good friend of ours. I don't know if you saw that, by the way, too.
I did see that.
Oh, yeah, we'll take that offline.
All right.
Let's dive into the big topic of the weekend. Brune, I saw you quote tweeted Hunt Palmer, local radio show host.
Matt Moscona.
Baton Rouge. Oh, I thought it was Hunt Palmer. My bad. Matt Moscona on this.
I think Hunt said the same thing, though.
He probably did. And I think he and I talked about this on Tuesday. The conversation about what to do with Michael Van Buren, I'm just going to lay it out. Like, this is going to be and I'll let you take it wherever you go. I want to see him play the next 3 games. I don't know what type of value Garrett Nussmeier is going to create for himself or for this team. I agree with Hunt Palmer's assumption, what he said earlier, and we said this too, Garrett Nussmeier is a terrible fit for how this offense is currently constructed. Yes. It is an awful fit. Like, you would not, free agent, you would not pick him up to play in this offense if you knew what you had as an offensive line and what you need to do. Throw Michael Van Buren in there. Here's the problem. If Van Buren wants to redshirt or not, what do you do here? Brune, if I'm Michael Van Buren, I've got this game, and then that staff has to tell me without a shadow of a doubt that I'm the guy or I'm not. Do not play yo-yo with me. Do not pull me in and pull me out of the next 3 weeks to just be some type of gadget player. No, I'm either the guy that can put on tape and try to go win a job either here or somewhere else, or I'm sitting. Look, time is way too valuable for these guys. You and I have seen this cover recruiting. I mean, how many times we see these 4 or 5-star prospects, they get 2 years in the program, and then they may get one more big portal shot after that? You don't know. Van Buren's already taken his portal shot. So if he's going to be a starting quarterback in the SEC, they need to give him a long leash. He cannot be pulled back out of the game. We can't go into the Western Kentucky game asking who the starting quarterback is going to be. That's just my take on it. He's either the guy or he's not. That should determine whether he redshirts or not.
Yeah, I agree. I think I said it. Really, credit to whoever asked the question on Monday, because when we did the mailbag pod, it really made me think about it for the first time. And that's where I kind of had the revelation. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this doesn't make sense if you're Michael Van Buren to burn your red shirt after a year of being the backup in all of the meaningful games and just play 3 games where against Arkansas, West Kentucky, Oklahoma, again, where Garrett Nussmeier is healthy. And so you're probably still splitting snaps of some sort. Like Frank Wilson said, both are going to play on Saturday against Arkansas. And so you have the opportunity to play one of these last 3 games and then play the bowl game. And I assume Nussmeier will not play the bowl game. So you'll start the bowl game. If I'm Michael Van Buren, I'm playing one of these last 3 and only in the bowl game. So that gives me 2 of the last 4. To your point, the only way I'm not is if they say I'm the full-time starter for these last 3 games in the bowl game. Yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either, yeah.
I just don't think that they're going to say, Nussmeier, you're done, sit down. And I don't think Nussmeier himself is going to say, I'm sitting out for the rest of the season. So with that being the case, you inherently are in this yo-yo situation where who's the starter? You know, we're both getting snaps at practice. We're both getting snaps in the games and stuff like that. What value does it bring to play the second half against Arkansas, the second half against Western Kentucky, and then Oklahoma? Who the hell knows where you're at there? And then you've burned a red shirt. And now you're going to next year as a true junior. Yeah. And like people are like, well, he can redshirt next year. Why would he do that when he just basically redshirted this past year?
Yeah,
like it just makes
sense. As a junior, then that means you're not good enough.
Yeah, that's not good. And so yes, This is his year to redshirt because he played at Mississippi State, whatever it was, 9 games and started however many games, and came here with the plan in his mind to develop, which he needed to develop. Like let's not get this twisted. He was not coming here to start. He needed to grow. He needed to develop. He was doing that. Things went sideways, and now he's just getting thrown in there as an afterthought. And it makes no sense to me why he would not preserve the red shirt. First of all, and the last thing I'll say is that's another year of getting money. That's another year of getting paid in the NIL world. Like that is a full year where in 2020, whatever year it is, it's a salary basically. And I don't know about you, but I don't think he's like an NFL guy right now. Maybe that changes, but he's going to need all 5 years here. The only pushback I got on the board was, well, the NCAA is going to go to the 5-year rule potentially, and they might do that. But it's not done yet, and I don't trust the NCAA to do anything, if it's not already done.
In the best interest of other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And B, we don't know how they're going to handle the players that have already redshirted. Maybe they give them an extra year or something like that because you're giving them a 5th year to play. So I just don't think it makes sense. I think he should take this redshirt.
I understand, and I was talking with some people yesterday about this. I understand, like, you wanting to see a guy want to compete, right? But this is a business, and your team is a business, and the player is his own business. For Michael Van Buren, it doesn't make any sense professionally because that's essentially what these kids are nowadays. They're professional athletes. It doesn't make any sense, like we said, for him to play 30 plays each game the next 3 games. Like that does nothing for him because I think this is what I believe. I think that Michael Van Buren wants to play, but only under the consideration that he is the guy, which is completely 110% valid to me. Because, like, truthfully, like, Brune, let's just be real. When this next head coach comes in, he's going to take a look at the current roster and say, what do we need to do? Yep. There is a world, and it may not seem feasible to people. It may not seem really, legit, but there is a world where if Michael Van Buren was the de facto starter and played every single offensive snap in the last 3 games and showed enough, there might be a head coach out there that says, hey, I could work with this. So he would be playing for something. Now, it's not guaranteed. But if he's not playing for something here, he's playing for something somewhere else. So it's just one of those things where unless you are the guy, I'm not wasting my time because and I think that's a lot of people are going to say, well, that's not how the sport was built. Well, buddy, that idea, that concept of what you want this sport to be died 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That's not what this is anymore. Kids don't, every single kid doesn't play for the letters on the jersey and the letters on the helmet and all that kind of stuff. It's not as important to these people anymore. And I know that sucks. I don't like it.
And like I said, it's a job.
It's a job. It's a business decision. He has to make a business decision. And I also encourage people too. Now, if you're a diehard LSU fan from Opelousas, maybe you would do this. But, it's one of those things where it's like, if you were in his shoes, Brune, I would do the same thing. Like after Saturday, I would go in Sunday morning, and if they don't tell me I'm the guy, then I'm shutting it down. Because
for 2 games, just for 2 games too. It's not like we're doing it like
because the bowl game
4 of the season.
Yeah.
Just for 2 games. I'll be like, all right, look, let Nussmeier play the Western Kentucky game at home. Try to build his stock up. Like first of all,
night for him.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. Of like I think the Nussmeier aspect. You're not playing for anything here. Van Buren wants to redshirt. Should be wanting to redshirt. Just let Nussmeier go out there. Take his hits. Maybe throw Colin Hurley out there for a quarter. I don't know, but I don't think this is the end of the world if Van Buren wants to redshirt. Like, guys, it's gonna be okay.
It is. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal, and I'm not trying to knock the kid. I just think he has to make a business decision. You're not playing for anything. It is what it is. Like, it's the reality of what this sport is nowadays. I don't love it, right? I wish it was different, but this is how it is. So,
yeah.
That's really, I guess, the big thing there as well. But we'll have a lot of the content this weekend coming about. Obviously, what Frank Wilson says tonight, and then obviously, too, with the game coverage on Saturday, recruiting weekend. Very interesting to try to talk to some of these recruits about what is being said to them. I think that's probably the most interesting piece of this whole thing. With signing day just 2-3 weeks away now, that's something that's really interesting. And then, man, we've got 2 more games, and I mean, shoot, like, Brune, we could be sitting here 3 weeks from now and LSU has a head coach, which is a wild thing to consider. 3 or 4 weeks from now, LSU could have a head coach. I don't think fans would be too happy about the fact that the head coach would be named in 3 or 4 weeks. But, yeah.
Hey, Tennessee is not making the playoffs, so.
Yeah, well. I was going to say, Jeff Brom got that extension, so.
Yeah, there you
Marcus
go.
Freeman,
Missouri's not making the playoffs.
You dude. Yeah. I was doing my show the other night. I had people commenting on my show, please don't hire Drink, LSU.
Wow.
And yeah, it was crazy. I was like, well, we're not talking about this tonight, but I appreciate y'all hanging
I will
out.
get rid of my contacts if they hire Eli Drinkwitz.
You'll
Glasses
just wear
only.
Constantly?
Glasses only.
I might do it too. We got to get the haircut though. I'm more close to the hair than you are.
I used to be close to the hair.
Dude, I saw a picture of you, by the way. Wow.
You saw me before I cut my hair.
No, Brune, this was when you first moved to Baton Rouge, when you were on the other side.
Oh, before I had a beard?
Dude, you look like you were 3.
Yeah,
it was the glow up is real. The glow up is real.
Yes,
so.
that's a different person. I don't
All right, we're
going to
get Brune out to this basketball game. We appreciate all of y'all tuning in, all of our sponsors as well. Make sure you continue to like and subscribe on the YouTube platform, pushing for 10,000 subscribers. I got a feeling we're going to hit it, especially with the head coaching search in December. Make sure to keep pushing that way. I believe we're under 1,500 subscribers left, maybe 1,500 to 1,700 subscribers we need over on YouTube. That's awesome. And then also, too, on those podcast platforms, make sure to leave us a 5-star review. Or if you don't like how way Brune talks about your team, you can leave a 2 or 3 star if you need to there as well. So we appreciate you.
No, leave a 5-star, but just be in the comments.
Just like, roast Brune in the comments.
Hey, you suck. And then I'll read it if it's a 5-star.
Yeah. Brune does not read the YouTube comments, by the way. So.
Oh, last thing. Here we go. Before we go, because I do need to go. Garrett Nussmeier listed as probable. Frank Wilson says setback came during practice this afternoon. First comment. Did he take a self-sack in practice? From Burke.
We appreciate y'all. Thanks so much. That's all I got to say. I don't even know what to say about that. Thanks for watching.